What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to take a quick break from talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta and instead talk about the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection and whether you should buy it or not. Now, this video isn't meant to either deter you or encourage you into either buying or not buying this collection. It's just a collection of information and my own opinions on the different types of people and who would benefit the most from buying this collection. If you're 100% all in on it, you have a PS5 already, you want to experience Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on your PS5, I would still stick around until the end, even if you're sure, because there are a few concerns that I have and a couple of disclaimers that I want to relay to you guys to further inform your decision, whatever that may be. Now, before we get started, I do want to say a quick thank you, as always, to you guys who have been commenting, liking, and subscribing. It means a lot to me. It helps me out a ton. If you're not yet subscribed, though, I would consider doing so. I make at least one Metal Gear video a week, and like I said, it helps me out a ton. But without further ado, let's get into what I consider my quote-unquote no-brainer crowd on who should pick this up. And those are two different types of people. The first being someone who already owns a current-gen console. So let's just say a PS5. You have a PS5 already, and you've never played through Metal Gear at all. You might as well pick up this collection. I don't expect it to be a horrible collection by any means. And that's including the disclaimers and the concerns I have that we'll talk about later. It's probably going to be a great way to experience Metal Gear, at least the first three. And then the second camp of people that I would consider this collection a no-brainer for are someone that already has a PS5 or a current gen console, already is a Metal Gear fan, and just maybe hasn't played them in a while. Maybe you haven't played them since, you had a PS3 and the HD or the Legacy Collection released. Maybe you don't have that anymore and you haven't been able to play through the original Metal Gear games. Those are the two camps, the two different types of people that I would consider, my no-brainer crowd. You guys should probably more than likely pick this up, despite any concerns that I may have. The second group of people is a bit more, or the third, I guess, group of people is a bit more nuanced. They're people like me that don't have a current gen console yet. We still have a working PS3 or Xbox console, and we have the HD collection or the Legacy collection. Now, for those people in this camp with me, please consider that what we're getting with this Master Collection, at least the first volume, is basically something we already have. We're getting Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3, all of which came included in both the HD collection and the Legacy collection. So we're not really getting anything new here. The only major change, and these are implied changes and improvements, I guess you could say, and again, they're assumed and implied, are better, higher graphical fidelity, better FPS, smoother gameplay, and things like better loading times. Those are all implied, and hopefully we see that come to light and they're actually included in this Master Collection. So that's the major advantage of getting something like this, right? For someone who has a working PS3 like me and a copy of the Legacy Collection like me, is being able to play these games smoother, they're more responsive, faster loading times, which is really good for all the games, really. So just keep that in mind. We already kind of have something like this collection in the HD collection and the Legacy collection. And a small little tidbit or side note on Xbox specifically, if you have a current gen Xbox console and the HD collection for the 360, you can actually play that HD collection on your Xbox console because of backward compatibility and benefit from some of those improvements already. So I do believe it's the graphics are slightly upscaled. Loading times are definitely faster, and the frames per second, the FPS, are definitely improved as well. So just keep that in mind. If you are someone who has a current gen Xbox console, you can already experience Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Peace Walker on your console as it is. You don't have to wait for this collection. The only thing you'd be missing out on is Metal Gear Solid 1, and that's not to downplay the importance of Metal Gear Solid 1, but just keep in mind it's one game that you're missing out on by not buying this collection and instead opting for the HD collection. And that's specific for Xbox again. Moving on to PC now. If you're primarily a PC gamer like I am nowadays, it's kind of concerning. This is my first real concern, that they haven't explicitly said that we're getting this collection on Steam or on PC in general. All they've said, if you go onto the website, which you should be seeing behind me now, they mentioned something about being able to play these classic games in their original or classic iterations on modern platforms. That's all they've said. That gives me hope. They use the word platforms and not consoles. So I'm assuming that means, and I hope it's not too much of an assumption, but that means that we will probably get this collection on PC as well. This was something that I was the most hyped of when I heard of this collection. They're like, oh, surely they'll port them to PC, right? We've never had MGS3 on PC, and there's so much modding potential. There's so much potential for someone like me who likes to make videos or likes to stream, all that fun stuff, likes to upload stuff on Twitter. It's so much easier and nicer to just have it on PC, be able to record locally and not have to, plug in a console to a capture card to my PC, right? To record. I don't mind doing it. I love doing it for you guys. I love creating content, if you want to call it that. But it would have been nice to have these games on PC. Now, a side note on that, we do actually have access to official ports of Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 on PC. They released a couple years ago now on GOG.com. You can purchase those right now. MGS1 works pretty well on PC right outside of the box without any major tweaks. You might have to change your keybinds up a little bit, whether you're playing on keyboard or the controller. Now, MGS2, however, is the complete opposite of that. It doesn't work very well. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Outside of the box, as soon as you buy the game, what you need to do is download fan patches or community patches, install those. They're not very hard to install. They're very quick to install as well. Once you have those up and running, however, it is a decent port. Both MGS1 and MGS2 are decent ports on PC, so that option is available to us PC players. Moving on now to some of those concerns that I did have, and I've already mentioned one of them, the whole PC thing, but the next concern that I kind of have is, and this is it's going to be for a little subsect of the community. This is for like the hardcore video game preservation people that, you really care about games in their original form. They have confirmed that they're making cuts to certain content, minimal edits to copyrighted content. What that means is that some of the footage used in cutscenes for the original cutscenes, right, in the original games, they haven't renewed the license to be able to use that footage in this re-release. And that's part of the reason why these games have been taken off the marketplace, Xbox marketplace, and the PlayStation Store, is because Konami opted not to renew their licenses for this footage. And so legally they had to take those games off of the marketplace. So what does this mean for the Master Collection? It means that they are going to find other footage that's either cheaper to license out or free to replace the original footage that was used in the original cuts of these cutscenes, and they're going to replace it with that new footage, essentially. So all of this to say that you're not getting the original cutscenes from the original games. If that's super important to you, maybe this collection isn't for you. And again, this is just for the historical footage in the game. This has nothing to do with cutscenes or in-game dialogue or codec calls or any of that. It's literally just the archived historical footage that Hideo Kojima and his team decided to use in the original cutscenes for these games. So if seeing these games in their original form is of utmost importance to you, maybe this collection isn't for you. Just keep that in mind. For most of us, I think it'll be okay. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't watch the cutscenes that often. I'm always blazing through the games, so it doesn't bother me too much. But for a lot of you guys, you do play these games for the cutscenes. And again, if you're big on video game preservation, maybe this is an issue for you. So there's that. The next thing that I want to talk about isn't a concern, so to speak. It's more so I'm curious how they're going to handle this, and that's trophies and achievement lists. The HD Collection and the Legacy Collection both had the same list of trophies for MGS2, 3, and Peace Walker. Are they just gonna... I'm kind of out of the console ecosystem. Like I mentioned, I'm primarily on PC nowadays, so I don't really know how they do this. If there's a game, like, for example, take The Last of Us, right? The Last of Us has been on every PlayStation console since the PS3, I believe. So when they remaster it, when they re-release it, do they update the trophies? Are you able to earn them again? Do they make changes to those lists? Are they required to make changes to those trophy lists to be able to re-release the game with trophies intact? I don't know how that works, and I'm very curious to kind of see how they tackle that. Either way, shameless plug for my Twitch channel. I haven't been streaming lately, but I 100% plan to stream once this collection's out. So twitch.tv/perfectstealth if you do want to see me earn these trophies again. We're going to be going through all the games. And as a side note to that, I don't think MGS1, Metal Gear Solid 1, has ever had trophies included with it. So this is the first time that we're going to get a trophy list for MGS1. So again, twitch.tv/perfectstealth if you guys want to see me platinum all these games on stream together with you guys in chat would be a good time. So that's my other, not really concern, I guess you could say, just curious on how they're going to tackle that as trophies. And then the last thing that is kind of a concern and kind of disappointing to me is there hasn't been any official mention on any bonus content that they're adding in this collection. The HD collection, in my opinion, if there's one of many complaints that I have about it, is that it didn't include anything extra. It was very bare bones, it felt like. And I hope this isn't the case for this collection or these series of collections. I would like to see some of the bonus stuff that was included back in the day in the original releases, or something like Subsistence for MGS3. I know it's kind of far-fetched, but something like Metal Gear Online 1 being intact, or like the Ape Escape minigame that was included in MGS3 would be really cool to see, and they haven't confirmed anything like that. I know it's very early days. As of uploading this video, it's only been 2 weeks since the announcement of Metal Gear Solid Delta and the Master Collection series, but it's still not too, encouraging to me. It's kind of disappointing to me that there hasn't been any mention of anything like that. And also stuff like artwork included, or a collector's edition, or any sort of like art book like they did for the Legacy Collection. There was like that little mini art book that came with the Legacy Collection, if you guys purchased that back in the day. That was really cool. I love seeing stuff like that. I always shell out the extra money to get that bonus stuff, especially for Metal Gear. So those are my concerns, or just the stuff that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention when it comes to this collection. For most of you guys, I'd say for like 80-90% of you guys, picking up this collection for your current gen console is going to be a no-brainer. If you're a hardcore Metal Gear fan, I'm sure it's a no-brainer. Hell, I even know of people that are going to buy it that don't even have a modern console. They just want it for their collection. So, yeah, for a lot of you guys, this stuff isn't concerning. I, again, just wanted to make this video to make sure you guys knew, one, exactly what you were getting. Two, any things that are cut, edited, or altered from the original versions. And third, just, my own opinions and on different things that they're going to include or not include. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope it was informative, at least a little bit. I am going to make a video on what I want to see in subsequent volume releases. So Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, 5, whatever they decide to go to. I am going to make a video soon about that. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm making at least one Metal Gear video a week. It would really help me out a lot. As always, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video.